Hey guys, and welcome to this week's Cloud Gaming Roundup. So there are a lot of different exciting games coming across to pretty much all the big three cloud gaming platforms, and some controversy surrounding one of them as well. So let's get into the news and get on with it. So first up, let's talk about Stadia. So it had a surprise drop this month with Wavetail coming across, which is available to claim as one of your pro games. So if you are a Google Stadia Pro subscriber, you've got access to a new game to play. Now this game looks really interesting. It takes place in this world which is basically overrun by oceans. You go off exploring it, the whole landscape and all of that. You've got different quests and everything else. And you fight different sea monsters as well. So if that's your jam, it looks really interesting. A very distinct art style. Just looks a whole lot of fun as well. So one worth checking out. For all of you dancers out there, Just Dance is coming across to the Stadia platform as well. So if you are into that, I remember playing it a hell of a lot when I was younger. I'm definitely too old for that sort of thing now. But again, another one just to kind of keep you entertained and mixing up the different games available on the platform. Now, interestingly, they've rolled out a new feature as well, which is basically an explore feature, and it gives users the option to find different Stadia players, so that way if you've got a game that you're playing and you don't have other friends who are playing it on the platform, you'll be able to find other people playing it, team up with them, but also as well, any of your shares and captures that you've done, you can share those with other players and people can find them all as well. So it just gives it a bit more point to capturing those images and videos and everything else. It just gives you a larger community and really helps to knit that together in the background. And the final thing is there is an indie sale kicking off as well, so if there are any titles that you've been looking at that are maybe been a bit too expensive in the past, well, now's your time to have a look at them. So if there's an indie game in mind that you're looking for, it's probably worthwhile heading over to Stadia store just to check it out and see if it's available. Moving on to xCloud, and it saw some really interesting games launch. So Forza 5 is now available to play on xCloud, and that launched the same day as it launched on all the other platforms as well, so your Xbox and your PC. It's a really, really fun game. I've been currently playing it on my iPhone, and it works surprisingly well even on that smaller screen, and we will have a full review of that coming up in the future. However, it's definitely one worthwhile checking out if you are a racer fan, and even if you're just kind of a casual racing game fan, it's a really, really good fun game to play. Grand Theft Auto San Andreas has also launched as well, and that launched the same day as it launched on all the other platforms. So if you are after playing something like Grand Theft Auto, they've just been not remade, but remastered. That is now available on the xCloud platform, so one worthwhile trying out. They're the two standout games, but also as well, they've launched Dicey Dungeons is now available on xCloud, and a One Step from Eden as well. So there are a couple of new additions to the xCloud platform. So again, if you are currently doing your cloud gaming through Microsoft services, there's some really interesting games that have launched. Now moving across onto GForce now. So Jurassic World Evolution 2 is available to play, and again, that's launched day one. So if you picked it up on Steam or Epic Games, you will be able to play this. And again, if you were a fan of the first dinosaur park builder, then chances are you're going to be a fan of the second one as well. Looks like there's been a lot of improvements made there. Looks absolutely fantastic. One of the things that you cannot fault these games on is they look absolutely stunning, and you'll be able to take advantage of those graphics because it's also going to be supported by the new 3080 tier. Bright Memory has also launched on GeForce now, and this looks like an absolutely kind of stunning action game. Looks really, really good fun. Notice you can take your combat to the enemies through guns, you can use your sword to hack and slash through them. Again, it looks really, really interesting. That will be supported by the new 3080 tier. Now that 3080 tier is starting to roll out this month, and for Europe it should be rolling out from next month, but it does come with some controversy. So it has now been discovered that a lot of those older games that used to achieve 60 frames per second are now being capped at 45 frames per second. People have reached out to Nvidia to try and find out a little bit more. They're also trying to find out as well whether or not that 3080 tier will eventually get capped in the future as they roll out newer technology. But it seems like a bit of a crap move in the background. Let us know in the comments, are you bothered by it? At the end of the day, at least it's not been completely dropped down, but it does seem frustrating that users who were getting a really good performance beforehand are now having that performance capped to try and push them, I guess, onto the 3080 tier. Yeah, a little bit annoying. So that is it from our Cloud Gaming Roundup for this week. Let us know in the comments, what are you most excited about? What are you currently playing? For us, we are currently playing Forza 5 and having an absolute blast with it. Not normally a racing fan, but I really, really like this game and it works incredibly well on my iPhone. But I'd be interested to know what you guys are playing and what platform you're playing on and what's your standout thing for this week. Hope you enjoyed that video. If you have, hit that like button, it just helps the channel to grow, and we'll be back in the future with some more awesome content. Bye!